Welcome to LBM Talks Social Media. I'm Sally Lacey, the social media manager for LBM Journal, and every other week I have conversations with lumber dealers from around the country about how they're using social media to grow their business. I hope you stick around, because it's time to get social. Katie Woods, welcome to LBM Talks Social Media.
Hello, thank you. I'm
Nice
excited to be here.
Yeah, it is exciting to meet you off of an email chain.
Yes, for
Yes,
sure.
I'm going to let you introduce yourself, but just the relevance is here because Woods Lumber was just featured in LBM Journal this month. And so, Katie, you and I were you and I weren't going back and forth on social media, but we had the opportunity to collaborate together, Woods Lumber and LBM Journal. And that was cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll talk about that a little bit. But if you would introduce yourself, Woods Lumber, kind of what you do there, that would be great.
Okay, awesome. So I actually have only been here for about 2 years. I originally started because there was one of my coworkers went on maternity leave. So my mother and father-in-law were like, hey, would you want to come do something in the accounting department, but really just like kind of anything all over the store. And I definitely was excited. I met my husband actually at Kansas State University, and I had graduated. COVID happened, and I was a buyer kind of doing marketing. Those plans kind of changed to remote work mostly, and I got tired of not really knowing anyone in town, small town. So I was like, yes, I'm ready to meet more people and really jump in. And then my mother-in-law was like, hey, I don't really have time to post on social media anymore. Would you mind, taking that over, or really just, using your creativity for whatever you wanted to post? So that actually started, I think, our social media, I would say blow up, but just we received a lot more followers. I posted my nephew, and I kind of started this whole thing about, Mac and his Milwaukee days and the specials we had going on with him. And I think from there, I really saw a connection between the community and Woods Lumber. They really wanted to know the people behind the post. They wanted to know who worked there and what they did, and they wanted to see your kids and their names, or what they're doing every day and what products you had. It was important to provide product knowledge, but also people really want to connect with people, especially after COVID. It's like that is social media. You want to build a connection online. You feel like this person. I mean, just us communicating, through social media. It's like, I feel like I know you so much more just by interacting through our DMs and everything. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background. And I think I kind of have, I had some knowledge before, but I've learned so much more just being here, working here every day. I know the people more, the products, and I think that's really what you need. You can learn all you can beforehand, but you really gain more understanding of what you're doing when you're actually doing the work and you're there. Yeah.
So true, which can always be kind of scary, but it's just the way that it is. You have to kind of jump in order to learn things. So you do the social media management at Woods Lumber, but do you still do the other accounting things at the same time?
Yes, I do. My husband and I, we work Saturdays, we work the sales floor. I am downstairs part of the time trying to do some merchandising, whatnot. And honestly, that really helps me with my social media posts because I'm connecting more with our products. I'm seeing what our sales guys are doing. I really think our posts, it takes a whole team. It takes everybody in here because I don't always know, the product that I'm working with, or the building materials, or what job, what contractor we're working with. And those guys, they're the experts. They know what's going on, and they're like, hey, it would be cool to do this, this, and this. And I just take it, roll with it, and then that creates our post.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the team effort is huge, especially if you are trying to harness that community aspect of social media, which is in the title itself, social media. You need everybody on the team on board. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic that you have that kind of support.
Yes, I am super lucky. I'm lucky that they're willing to be my models at times too.
Oh, nice.
They don't always want to be in it, participate, but I'm like, okay, it'll be quick and easy. And then I'm like, look at these comments. Like they love that you're in this post. They want to see you guys and what you're doing. So I'm lucky that they're willing to participate a little bit.
Totally. So tell me a little bit about your guys' presence on social media. You are on Facebook and Instagram, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that had been kind of going on before you even came in, but then you kind of came in and started switching things up, right?
Yes. So my
Okay.
mother-in-law, she started Instagram, I think in 2013 and then Facebook 2012. So it had been going for a while, but I feel like we really like nowadays you want your brand to look fluid, look the same, kind of so it feels like one person is posting all of these things instead of it being so many random different things. You want it to all look the same kind of. So when I took it over, I really wanted it to look as if, we have our advertisements, our sales, giveaways, but we also have our people. And I wanted that to kind of flow into this is what's going on. These are the people that are doing this week, and kind of have that same image every time. So you remember, we're not different. We're the same, but we have new things. You want to come check us out. You want to shop in our store because of the exciting things going on, but we're still the same. It's just these new things. We're growing and progressing.
Yeah, totally. So speaking of content, you mentioned your products, you mentioned your people. Can you give us some examples of like what kind of content you create based off of those themes or just anything else that you like to do?
Yeah. So my first thing, my nephew, we did Milwaukee Mac Days. There were different specials going on each day, each week. And so each week I'd have like a new Mac doing this with Milwaukee, Mac doing that with Milwaukee. Then after that, I think I kind of did more like rental equipment. This is what we have, what's new. These are the people. This is how you use this specific equipment item. And then I would have someone, doing that action or whatever was needed to be done, kind of explaining it more than just posting about it or telling you the name of it. After that, I think more now it's been contractors, their jobs, learning about the different vendors we have, the different supplies we have for your big jobs, building supplies. I think from there, it's kind of grown and people find it a lot more interesting when they're knowing, they want the product knowledge. They want to come in here and they already feel prepared because they know the name of the brand, they know the product, but they want your advice on, is this specific job going to work out if I use this product, or what would you recommend for this? And I feel like a lot of the time too, people feel like they're bothering you or they don't, they come in and they feel frustrated about the project, but they don't want to bug you. But that's literally our job, is to help these customers with their, it can be a contractor job, it can be a DIY, no matter what it is. We want you to feel comfortable, confident when you leave the store that you're going to get your project done.
Totally. So when you mentioned contractors, do you mean you're collaborating with your contractors on some piece of content?
So yes, actually, one of our bigger contractors, Cameron Edwards, he has a lot of jobs. He takes beautiful pictures that I've actually stolen some of his content and posted, asked him, of course, if I could post about it and really show the kind of work that he does. And I feel like that helps our content a lot, our following. Our contractors don't use social media as much, but they are definitely willing to work with us with our social media. So him, for example, I used some of his jobs and he told me about them. He said, it was actually rewards, our Do It Best rewards program. I asked him, why do you like rewards? Why are you a part of, Do It Best rewards? Why'd you sign up? Why do you shop here every day? And he just kind of gave me like his answer, and then I turned it into this whole thing about you should sign up for rewards because if you're a contractor, if you shop here a lot, why not? It's free, it's easy, and then just showing off his work as well. And I feel like that collaboration works really well because it's hand in hand. He's doing service for us, and we're kind of giving that business back to him.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like collaborating with people is so big. Again, going back to that whole social thing, the communal thing, like those have got to do really well. And it's I also just, think that's the way that social media works is you have kind of this thing that you want to talk about or promote, like the do it best rewards. And you're like, how can I find a way to make this interesting or engaging? So is this mainly photo content, text content, video content? What kind of format is it?
Mainly photo content. I've done a few text and then also video. I've had some videos showing how to use our rental equipment or just examples of things going on in the store, but I would say majority would be photo content. I think it works the best for our consumer, our audience. They love, just a bunch of pictures of what's going on, and we get a lot of good reactions, especially again when our employees are in the photos.
Oh, totally, I bet.
Yeah.
And being on Facebook and Instagram, they're both owned by Meta. However, they're a little bit different. I'm curious kind of what your experience has been with performance on Instagram and compared to maybe performance on Facebook. Are you posting the same content? Maybe you're not. What have you seen?
So yes, for sure, they are different. Our customer loves Facebook. And so I'm always on Facebook. And I love it. It works so well for us. We get the majority of our comments, our interactions on Facebook. I will tell you, if I post one thing on Instagram, but I'm not posting on Facebook, we definitely have someone coming in mentioning that product I've posted on Instagram, but they're not interacting with that post as much. And I'm not exactly sure why. I think they just want to see the picture, the beauty of it. It's more like we like it, but we don't want to, interact with it online. That is just a weird subject. On Facebook though, it's we're more comfortable commenting, liking, sharing, posting. But Instagram, I don't know. We love it. We want to be on it, but we're not comfortable interacting yet. I'm not sure. I think too, it's the generations, and our customer has always been with Facebook. So I think they're just confident, comfortable there. And we love it because we get a lot of shares through Facebook. I think that definitely helps. Instagram, you aren't sharing to your page. You are, but it's just that story. Not everybody's really looking at stories as much as they are the content, their feed scrolling through, and you're scrolling quickly, so you better grab attention immediately. And I think too, when I'm posting our people, that is grabbing someone a lot faster than just this product. If it's just the product, it's just a generic brand. It's not us. But when it's our people, they're like, oh, that's Wade. Oh, that's Tommy. I know them. I know what they're doing. Let me scroll through and see what's going on. And I think Facebook as well, Instagram, you have your one photo and then you have to flip through it to see the rest. Facebook, I can see everything. I see your collage. I can just click on each one. It just makes more sense. So I would definitely say we have a lot more interaction on Facebook than we do Instagram.
That makes sense. Because I think, Facebook is definitely an older demographic than Instagram, and they also serve different purposes. I do feel like they're both very social, but Facebook has kind of the same feel that it's always has since it came out, where it was keeping up with your friends, and it is very social, whereas Instagram, half of it is definitely for entertainment now. So I could totally see that. And that's kind of what happens when I post dealer profiles, for example, from LBM Journal, is I post every single picture that they give us because we always have somebody commenting about how they know who those people are. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think it makes a lot of sense for LBM dealers to be on Facebook because it's so community based, literally physically in the community.
Yeah. I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed that too. I've looked at other lumber yards, why would you not look at their social media? You want to know what they're doing as well, what's working, what's not for them.
Yeah.
So, I've noticed too, a lot of their followers, they're on Facebook. They're not on Instagram. They don't have as many, likes or interactions or any of that. So I'm like, okay, it's not just us. This is a common thing.
Yeah. So do you guys get a lot of homeowners as customers?
We do get a lot of homeowners. I would say majority of our customers would be contractors, but I would say right under that would be DIY. Like I think Mark has said maybe 70-30 or 60-40 really. We get a lot of contractors, but we have so many DIYers, and our paint section actually brings a lot of people in. The new mover paint deal, we have different things for new homeowners, and I would say there's a lot of times, honestly, that we have that frustrated customer that they need help because they've gone everywhere and they've gotten the short, quick, easy answer and it didn't really help them. And at our store and on social media, I really want to represent what we're about, and we will help you. We will give you all the knowledge necessary. We're not going to give you the short, sweet, easy answer and just send you home. We're going to let you really know about the product you're using, and that's not the right fit. We're going to suggest something better. We're not going to push something on you because we think it's the right fit. We know for you and your product, your project, that this is the best solution for you. So I think when I'm posting on social media, I really try to explain, we're here to help and we're going to do that. We're at the end of the day, you can trust us. We're here to help with your projects, and new homeowners, contractors, experts to DIYers. It doesn't matter who you are. We're going to help you every time.
Totally. So, Katie, as you've kind of been in this role and gained experience and such, I'm kind of a little curious just about your maybe philosophy on social media marketing. Like, what, in terms of like business value, what is the value of being on social media and engaging with your community? Is it brand awareness? Is it relationships with your customers? It's probably all of the above. But what would you say?
I would all of the above, but really brand awareness, it's a game changer for us. We're in a small town and we're in Montgomery County, so we want to reach our county, but we want to go further than that. We don't want to limit ourselves to just the area, the zip code where we're at. This really gets us connected to so many people around, coming from different cities, states, whatever. They may have never stepped foot in our store, but they've been to our social media page and they love what we're about. So they're going to share our posts, like our posts, tell their friend, hey, next time you're there, or my family's from there, you need to stop at Woods Lumber. It doesn't matter where you live. Like you know about Woods Lumber. That's the goal. And you're going to hear about us somehow. And I really think that when someone enters our doors, like to have them say, I saw you on this post. I saw you doing this or that. Hey, I'm here to buy this product. Maybe they had no intention of coming in our store that day, but they saw something online and they're like, I'm here to buy this specific item. And then maybe they're not buying that item, but they just came in our door where they wouldn't have, they came in specifically because I posted something on social media, and that connects us so much. If we didn't have that, they may have never come in the door. They didn't need to come in there that day, but that really grabbed them, pulled their attention to our store. I would also say it really changes things. They can call our store and ask us questions, but the direct messaging is such a big thing. I get constant direct messages just about, hey, do you have this in stock? Does this come in a different color? Do you offer this item or whatever? I think it really changes things because it's a lot simpler for people to direct message you now than it is to call you and sit there on the phone, sit there on hold, whatever. I think it's helped a lot for us to do business, and also just our giveaways. I think for people to direct message me and ask questions, it's honestly safer because a lot of the time there will be, pretend people saying they're Woods Lumber. Well, then these people can feel comfortable direct messaging us and being like, hey, is this real? Is this legit? No, it's not, but thank you for messaging us, because now we know what's going on. We have this in the back of our minds. So yeah, I think it's really a game changer on all aspects, but really brand awareness is the biggest thing.
That is really interesting. A couple things. Well, one, the direct messages, that is so smart. It's almost like social media is now just an extended form of customer service.
Yeah.
And just, being able to get in touch with somebody is always so valuable, and being helpful to them. But it's also so interesting hearing you talk about like the perception of your store, and how it really seems like you are a business asset to the community, but it also seems like your relationships are just so genuine, which is just kind of like wild to me. The fact that, it's just really cool and interesting that like a local business can have such strong relationships with its community. So that's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I honestly, and it's not even, I can't even take props or any of that. I mean, now I'm hoping to really contribute to that. But I mean, my husband is the 6th generation in this store. So it is a testament to how, when you give back to your community, they help you thrive. My mother-in-law, her quote from the LBM Journal article, she really was like, we do well in business because we give back to our community. You're not successful unless you're really, you're in with your community. You're thriving, you're participating. They know who you are. They know your faces in the community, outside of the community. They take that knowledge. They may not always live here, and they go somewhere else and they're like, hey, Woods Lumber, that's the place. I had this lumber yard, back in the day, whatever. So for generations to come, they're going to know about Woods Lumber.
That is just so interesting. And it's so cool to like come back to that. I feel like kind of the state of just everything right now, everything's so advanced, everything's so big. So to hear like that message of a business giving back to its community, and then it's just like a full circle. And that's just really, really cool to hear about and see. And it was completely apparent, on some of the social media posts we collaborated on. Again, Facebook was huge. So it was Mark and Kathy. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So Katie's in-laws were on the cover of LBM Journal this month, and also you guys had a dealer profile in LBM Journal, and so we of course shared that, and those always go crazy, and this one went really wild, like so many shares, so many likes. Really just showed how popular you guys are, how strong the loyalty is. And I would just love to hear from your perspective, like what the response to that kind of content was on your end of things for Woods Lumber.
Yeah, it was awesome just to hear so many congratulations. People would call up here and tell them, congrats for being the cover of an article. And every single person, they were like, you deserve this. You all deserve this so much. They've just been amazing in the community, and just as people, very humble and kind to other people. So your business is truly successful when the people are just outstanding, good humans. I would also say our vendors, like they were really happy for them. We've built really great connections with our vendors, especially the sales guys. It's great to have those connections, and they just we're like, hey, don't forget about us. Remember, this is going on, or, whatever else. But yeah, I think really it's just insane the amount of people, the community that they're behind you 100%, that really shines and comes out. Even, on a low or a high, they're always there for you. This is just like the biggest family you could ever find. It's just, somebody knows someone and they're rallying behind you no matter what's going on. And it was just really cool to see that, even just a little like or congrats or whatever, they just really felt like, I think a lot of people too were saying it's recognizing Independence, Kansas, a small town. To like have that is so amazing, to bring attention to small towns and remember that shopping local is so, so important. You want those mom and pop shops to survive through anything. And I mean, this business has been around now for 6 generations. So it's just, it truly shows it can happen for anyone. It's just, you have your community and you really thrive when you support them.
Totally. And just kind of speaking of your vendor partners, do you ever do social media collaborations with them?
I've never done an actual collaboration, but I have posted some like Halloween flooring photos, and those got reposted. Or now we're actually selling turtle boxes, and we've posted some of those on social media, and they've posted on their story or whatever. And Kathy back in the day actually had posted some cabinet designs, in people's homes, and I'm pretty sure those got reposted or, whatever, comments, liking. But I don't think again, with the Facebook, Instagram, the collaborations are pretty rare right now, especially like in our industry. For us, we haven't seen as many going on, but the sharing, reposting definitely has always been a big thing. I think Facebook honestly maybe is more user friendly for people. And so that's where it kind of hits more. But I really hope to work with our vendors a lot more in the future and just really show off their product a lot more, because we do a lot of cool things with their products.
Totally. Okay, I have a couple more questions for you. I guess the second one's going to be about some just advice from you and your experience. But the first one is, do you have any goals for your social media presence as time goes on?
I actually would like to dive a lot more into our building materials. And one of our salesmen, Jaron, he is going to start taking pictures of different projects he's working on with the approval of the customer, and just to display that more on our social media, because I think it's kind of a disservice to us not showing off our projects as much, because we do really cool things and we work with really cool people. And I just would really love to, show more of the bigger projects of what we really can do. My other goal is to, not limit myself to really push the uncomfortable zone of, like, I'm used to social media, but I haven't done anything, a little harder to get me on more platforms, maybe to push Woods Lumber to be a part of more trendy social media. So I'm really hoping to dive deeper into that and just learn a lot more about social media management.
Okay, and my last question is, I would love some advice from you specifically on just kind of how to create creative content about, your business. Like, what would you say to another small LBM dealer who is looking to kind of up their social media game?
Yeah, I would definitely say lean on your people. I've said it a million times in this podcast, but yeah, lean on your people, because your community, like that'll help you thrive. So you post your employees, post what's going on in your store. Don't settle for, okay, this is working, so we're just going to keep doing that. Push yourself to do something new, strive to hit a different market. If you're doing great over here, maybe try something else. Don't be afraid to fail, because they're not always going to be winners. Not everyone's going to love the one thing you're posting. So, get out there and post anything you possibly can, and some will be great, some won't, but that one post, it worked for somebody. So it's great that you put that out there, and just remember staying true to your brand and who your store and your people are. Just sticking with that, but also not being afraid to fail.
That's great advice. Just put it out there.
Yeah.
So, well, it was really nice to meet you off of
It was
email,
so nice to
Katie.
meet you. I know.
We've got these young social media managers, and I will definitely be cheering you on from my side of Facebook
Yes,
and Instagram.
ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. That's awesome.
So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.